Hello and welcome back to my channel True Crime Chronicles, where we go over true crime cases that have either been solved or unsolved or still under investigation. If you're new to my channel, please like, share, and subscribe. And also don't forget to hit the notifications bell and click all notifications, that way you are notified every time I upload a new video. Now let's get into today's true crime video. Trigger warning: contains descriptions of domestic violence, systemic racism, and ongoing trauma affecting Indigenous families. 5 calls for help: the tragic story of Corrine, McKeowen, and Doreen LeClair. What you're about to hear isn't just negligence, it's a death sentence for 2 Indigenous sisters. Their final words were recorded by the system that abandoned them. On February 16, 2000, Corrine McKeowen and her sister Doreen LeClair's at Doreen's Winnipeg home made 5 911 calls regarding Corrine's ex, William Dunlop, a man with a restraining order. Over an 8-hour time span, they make 5 911 calls. The tapes reveal a descent into horror. Operator promised police. None were dispatched. Winnipeg police fought to suppress these tapes. Disciplinary hearings were pending. But Justice Oliphant released them in the public interest. Why? Because Marty Ford of the Aboriginal Council spoke truth. Unbelievable and appalling. If they were white women in tuxedo, police would have raced there. These 911 calls happened in a span of 8 hours. The initial 911 call reported a disturbance, but the dispatcher designated the call as a priority 2P, not a high-priority emergency. Call 1. Doreen. He's here. He violated 2 court orders. Call 2. Doreen. He has stabbed my sister. Call 3. Operator. Everybody had a few to drink? When Corrine mentioned the restraining order, the operator blamed them. Both of you are at fault. Assumed they were drunk. Meanwhile, Dunlop was stabbing them. Call 4. Unintelligible cries. One clear phrase: please help me. Call 5. Barking dogs. Silence, then Dunlop's voice. On the final call, Dunlop answers, calm, cold. Dunlop: there is no problem at all. She's in the bathroom. Operator: we'll wait. Dunlop then replies, she went for beer. Operator: your name? Dunlop replies, Hank Wacko. He mocked them with a fake name. The operator bought it. No squad car came until after they bled out. What you have here is victim blaming by operators. No dispatch despite 5 calls. Believing the killer's lies. Systemic racism and risk assessment. Dunlop got life. But the operators? Disciplined internally. No criminal charges. Justice Minister McIntosh had to fight to release these tapes. The judge agreed. Deaths were preventable. Susan Cieslar, the second police operator who handled the 4th call, earlier told the inquest that she designated the call priority 2P when she entered it into the computer. Susan Cieslar said Foy admitted during a conversation months later that she never read the details of the call. Yet the system protected itself. Brenda Foy, the first police operator, was never criticized for her actions on the night LeClair and McKeown were killed. This wasn't an anomaly. Indigenous calls are risk discounted. Studies prove it. The operators assumed everyone had a few drinks. Racial profiling. Corrine and Doreen joined Canada's thousands of missing and murdered Indigenous women. Their tapes are evidence of why. The sisters were failed twice. First by 911 operators who dismissed Indigenous women's cries. Now by a justice system considering freeing their killer. The 2001 inquest promised reform. Yet today, families still fight to keep murderers behind bars. 24 years later, at Dunlop's parole hearing, a family member delivered a chilling statement. We object to any release. We live in fear. Dunlop coldly replied, they have nothing to fear. But police agreed with the family, calling him an undue risk, especially to women. He is a high risk of violent reoffense. 60 disciplinary incidents in prison. In 2008, he sparked a stabbing. In 2022, assaulted inmate with a weapon. Dunlop's prison record reads like a rap sheet, weapons possession, drug trafficking, and gambling rings. The parole board confirmed, releasing you would not make society safer. Police promised reform. But 24 years later, Indigenous women still die waiting for help. The medical examiner may finally call an inquest, but without addressing racism in emergency response, Corrine and Doreen died in vain. Corrine and Doreen's case exposed Canada's emergency response bias. 24 years later, Indigenous women are still 12 times more likely to be murdered. Their killer's parole hearing proves the violence doesn't end when the cuffs go on. Families live a life sentence of fear. True justice isn't just a life sentence. It's believing Indigenous women when they beg for help. Holding 911 operators accountable, none were criminally charged. Ensuring killers like Dunlop stay behind bars. Honor them. Demand the inquest. Support Indigenous-led crisis response. If you're unheard, call anyway, record, scream. Your life matters. Winnipeg police still oppose Dunlop's release, admitting their 2000 failure cost lives. Honor Corrine and Doreen. Demand parole boards prioritize victim safety. Support Indigenous-led justice initiatives. Never forget their names. His parole hearings. Dunlop waived his first parole hearing in 2018, avoiding facing the family for 6 years. January 2024. Full parole denied. Reason: undue risk to the public. The obituaries tell us who they truly were. Doreen, a devoted mother to Shane and Shannon, whose love for animals led her family to request donations to the Winnipeg Humane Society. Her bond with her pets Trojan and Angel was so profound, they were named in her memorial. Corrine, a resilient spirit whose obituary quotes a poem about finding peace, a testament to her faith even in darkness. Doreen LeClair, 1949-2000. Corrine McKeowen, 1948-2000. Your family still fights. We fight with them. Their funeral at Leatherdale Gardner Chapel drew hundreds, yet their killer's parole hearing still forced their family to relive that grief. Doreen, 51, and Corrine, 52, were more than victims. Doreen, mother to Shane and Shannon, sister to Arlene, whose love for animals defined her. Corrine, a woman of faith whose obituary shared her poem, "Don't grieve for me, for now I'm free." On February 16, 2000, their lives ended when Corrine's ex-boyfriend, William Dunlop, under a restraining order, stalked them for hours. Corrine and Doreen's story ignited outrage because it exposed the truth. 911 isn't a guarantee of safety, not if you're Indigenous, poor, or deemed less important. Their 5 calls echo in every murdered and missing Indigenous women march, every demand for justice. They were mothers, sisters, humans who deserved better, in memory of all sisters silenced. Doreen Janice LeClair, Corrine McKeowen. I found that peace at the close of day. Your voices echo in every 911 call unanswered. In every parole hearing where families tremble, we will make silence impossible. MMIWG. Crisis line 1-844-413-6649. Petition Justice for Corrine and Doreen. CA.